You are looking at live pictures from downtown Salt Lake City, where thousands of protesters have marched through the streets for a fifth night. They are protesting the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis last week and calling for an end to racial inequality.
The crowds have been loud, Bob, as they've chanted their calls for change.
Police have controlled the crowds to a degree, which were joined tonight by Salt Lake City Mayor Aaron Mendenhall and Salt Lake County Mayor Jenny Wilson. Fox 13's Sydney Glenn has been with the protesters all evening. Sydney, where are you now, and has the demonstration remained peaceful?
The demonstration has remained peaceful. We just did a circle around Washington Square here in downtown Salt Lake City. You can probably still see the protesters behind me. They're moving quickly here. They started at the Capitol earlier today and then made their way down to Washington Square Park, circled around there, and that's when things got a little interesting. We did see Aaron Mendenhall, the Salt Lake City mayor, as well as Jenny Wilson, the mayor of Salt Lake County, kneeling. We did hear several protesters screaming really specifically at Aaron Mendenhall during that time. But as soon as people started screaming, we had other people coming up defending her, asking people to back off. Then as people made their way through Washington Square Park, there was some interesting scuffles there a little bit with the police as people were trying to move past police lines. Police stayed professional during those moments. They told people they weren't allowed to move into that area. They tried to keep that police line there. People throughout the night have been lying down on the ground for 8 minutes at a time. Police here have closed down these streets. They're laying down for 8 minutes to represent the 8 minutes that George Floyd had an officer's knee on his neck. Everything for the most part tonight staying peaceful. A really big crowd out here tonight. This is night 6 of protests in downtown Salt Lake City. Saturday started peaceful and then turned into a riot. So the 5th consecutive day of peaceful protests. I did speak with Chief Brown earlier today, and he told me he just wanted to thank everybody for keeping things peaceful. He asked for peace after those scary riots on Saturday, and he said he's thankful that so far they have stayed that way.
All right, glad to hear another night of peaceful protests happening right now in Salt Lake City. Sydney, thank you.
Well, as Sydney just reported, the massive crowd of protesters that first gathered at the Capitol this afternoon all started with just one man. 19-year-old Ammon Roberts started the Salt Lake Equal Rights Movement 6 days ago, and tonight his community came to support their cause. And across the street at the Capitol, Utah Highway Patrol troopers kept a close eye to make sure the crowd was safe.
We're absolutely members of our communities. We're here to support their values. We're here to support their rights, and we feel that as well.
And we realized that, everybody cares about what's going on here. As you can tell, people didn't just show up because they felt like it. They came out because they felt like they needed to, because something needs to be done, and we're out here trying to get a message across,
Utah Highway Patrol troopers told Fox 13 News they were grateful for how peaceful this protest has been tonight.
Protesters got a helping hand today from the Salt Lake Mutual Aid Network. Volunteers from the group provided water, sunscreen, hand sanitizer, face masks, and first aid kits, all to keep protesters hydrated and safe, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Part of this came out of the idea that we went to some of the first protests and we were like, it's so hot and we really need water. And we had already been doing this work as a network. We're providing groceries and emergency cash and supplies to families all across the valley. So we thought, we have the platform, we can help.
The Salt Lake Mutual Aid Network is run entirely by donations, and it's just one of many mutual aid networks that have started across the country since the start of the pandemic. Stay with us here on Fox 13 News, both on air and online, as this important story develops. We will keep you updated on the demonstrations going on right now in Salt Lake City all throughout this newscast.